There are jobs that make it on the list, and then there are jobs that don't make it on the list that I literally walk past 20 times a day. Good morning everybody. If you haven't been here before, my name's Ash. Welcome to the channel. If you have been here before, welcome back. So today we have to fix some shit. So what you can hear is the valve making noise because I've created a vacuum with it by opening up a small valve down in the gully there. So what that's doing is taking all the water away from this valve, essentially putting this valve under a vacuum, so it's sucking air in through a crack. There's a crack in this valve here. I'm not sure if you can see that. So if you've been following the channel for a while now, you know we came across this leak a few videos back while I was dealing with another leak over on this same line. And today's the day that we finally get the opportunity to come out and fix it. So here we are. We've got to fix this valve. I'll take these lay flat cam locks off, and then I'm just going to try and unspin the valve, and hopefully the whole thing, the whole bit that I want, comes off as one. Just took off the hydraulic line for our Galcon irrigation controller. This is what controls the valves from the computer. Perfect. That is exactly what I wanted. Oh. Need my trusty Leatherman for this. Okay, let's get it over to the back of the ute and see what's going on with it. So it looks like I got lucky with this one. I'll try and find the crack. So I've just drawn a little blue circle around it. There is a crack, goes up to this ridge here, from all the way through the middle of that circle. So this is what's been making the mess. So what we need to do is take this off, and I wasn't sure what size it was, so I bought two. I bought a 40mm and a 50mm. Turns out it's 50mm. So what I have to do is take this one off, put this one on, and go and put it back together. Simple. Of course it did. It never happens the way you want. It's taken this fitting out of the bottom of this hydraulic valve as well. So we've got these manual isolating valves underneath the hydraulic valves, just in case there's something wrong with our hydraulic irrigation lines, just to stop them from turning on when we don't want them to, if there's a malfunction or something like that. But it's no good if it's got a crack in it. So let's get to replacing it. So now what I've got to do is get this fitting out of this valve so I can use it for the next valve. Do you guys have any bigger tools I could use? I've got this pair of old multi-grips. It's just... I don't know when they were made. Before my time. But they're still getting used. Alright, we've got it out. All we need to do is thread this back into here and then put this on that, and then we're good. Simples. So you don't have to thread tape these poly fittings if they're going into poly. Okay, we've got our valve back on. Let's go hook it all back up. Job one done. That one can go in the bin. I just had to go and turn off that valve I opened to let the water drain so I could fix that main without getting too bloody wet. Now we're heading to job number 2. It's nearly time to get some weediciding done in this citrus, I think. Just thought I'd jump out. This isn't part of today's plan. Nothing's really part of today's plan, but I just thought I'd jump out and show you guys what my thoughts are as I was driving past here. So you can see here we've got these little weeds coming up, winter weeds coming up underneath the citrus trees along the dripper line. What that means is it's coming up to weediciding season. So these are all winter weeds. A lot of those will just be thistles and stuff like that are really easy to kill at this growth stage. But if we wait too much longer, those thistles are going to be up through the trees, make it a nightmare for pickers. Also, it will make it really hard for us to get some of the accreditations we need to send our fruit to certain markets around the world. So at this stage here, this will be the perfect time to get through with the weedicide and just give it a quick spray underneath the trees. If we do that in the next few days, that's going to make our life a lot easier. It'll work really well, really quickly. And as you can see, there's not a lot of trash under the trees at the moment. We've done a good job in this patch of keeping the weeds out of it. But if we wait too much longer, we're going to be back to square one again. So in the next couple of days, you might see a little bit of weediciding content through the citrus. Now, this is job number 2 that didn't make it onto the jobs list. Been driving past this for a couple of days now, and it is, every time I drive past it, it's just been getting progressively worse. But I've always been on a mission to be going to do something, so I haven't had time to stop and check it out. But now we have no employees on the farm today. We are just here by ourselves, so it gives us a good opportunity to go for a walk through and just catch up on any odd jobs like this that get neglected or missed, or that flown under the radar for a little bit too long. But anyway, I'm here now. We'll go for a bit of a scout through here and see what we can find. As you can see, the end of these nursery rows are just creating a little bit of a mess. I've got a sneaky little suspicion there's a leak in here somewhere. Turn on the pump, turn this nursery on. Actually, I think I just found it. Hopefully that was the problem. Simples. I'll quickly turn this patch on and see if I can spot any other issues, but that seems like the most likely culprit to me. So anyway, while I'm waiting for this pump to turn on, I thought I'd just have a little bit of a chat about this patch we're at now. This is our young citrus tree nursery. These trees are ready to go out. They were ready to go out in spring just gone, but we actually didn't have a home for them, and we didn't have any land ready to plant them out ourselves. So what we're doing now is trying to get some land ready at the moment to plant a lot of these citrus trees out. We probably have about 40,000 citrus trees in this nursery here. These ones that I'm standing in front of here are ruby grapefruit, star ruby grapefruit, and then we have some barnfields here. Over the other side we have some other navel varieties, some earlier navel varieties. These are barnfields, these are a late variety. The other side we have some earlier navel varieties, which are Navelina, Fisher and Washington. So all of these trees are pretty big now for being in a nursery. They're going to have a crop on them next year. If we're not careful, we'll be walking through the nursery picking them. I can hear the water starting to come on now. A few runs to the litter, but as you can see, most of them are at the top of the stake or well above the stake. They'll all be pretty fine to plant out. So over the next month or two, we're going to have to be getting a few acres ready to put these in. And if anyone else is interested in any citrus trees and interested in any of the varieties that I mentioned before, hit me up. We've got about 40,000 of them between the 5 varieties: ruby grapefruit, Navelina, Fishers, Washingtons and barnfields. They're ready to go from anywhere from now. You wouldn't want to plant them now because it's the middle of winter, but you can do a spring planting, which is the ideal time to plant them, just after the frosts have finished, and then you can do an autumn planting. You can plant them through summer as well. Plant them through summer, you'd have to give them a fair haircut because they don't handle the heat real well when their canopy is really big and their root zone is trying to get established in the new soil. So when we come through here to lift them, to plant them out in our patch, we'll cut them back to there's barely any leaves on them, and that'll give them a bit better chance of survival when we put them out into the patch. So you might be saying to yourself, Ash, these ruby grapefruit look pretty yellow at the moment, what's going on? And yeah, that's a common ruby grapefruit trait. this nursery probably does need a little bit of food. In winter, ruby grapefruits have a tendency to go yellow like that. Maybe it's not having enough backlog of nutrients through summer and autumn to carry them through the winter. In summer and autumn, they looked a lot more perky than that, but they're definitely vigorous enough. At the start of last growing season, they were pruned back pretty much to the height of the stake. We were going to plant them out in spring, but then that got delayed as we were behind the 8 ball on a few other things that were more important. And then they were going to get planted out as an autumn planting, and they sort of go a little bit dormant over winter and then start their growing period when spring comes back around. But the same thing ended up happening. We were behind the 8 ball with the veggies, and yeah, we didn't have the time to deal with the citrus. So this coming spring, we're going to be making a point of making sure we get these out. So we've got to get some ground ready over the next little bit, and then we'll peg out the rows, and then we'll be all ready to plant for when spring comes around. And when I said we had about 40,000, that doesn't mean 40,000 of each variety, that's 40,000 all up. There's a pretty even amount of each variety, give or take 1,000 or so. But yeah, this is our little nursery patch. Anyway, I have been walking up and down these rows. I cannot find any more leaks. I'm pretty sure just the end of the dripper line coming unkinked there was the culprit to this whole mess. That seems like it's another job done. All right, there's probably not too much else I'm going to get time to film today. The kids are going to be home in the next hour or so. I have to go and do some tennis coaching with them. They play tennis on the weekends, and myself, as an avid tennis player when I was younger, picked up a few tips and tricks I can now pass on to the younger ones. So we're going to go have a little bit of a hit. So I might leave this video here, guys. Thanks for watching. We didn't get up to too much today, but got to tick a few odd jobs off the list, or a few odd jobs that didn't make it on the list. So if you liked the video, don't forget to chuck a like down below. And if you like this style of content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We post content here a couple of times a week. And if you want to support the channel, you know what to do. Anyway, guys, I'm off. We'll catch you in the next one. See ya.